Hi folks, hope you're well. A quick video here. So this one is going to be based upon, or starting point, is a very, very quick way of understanding if you're doing well in church. At the start of the year, let's say January is cool, have every member in your church do a questionnaire. That questionnaire is secret. That questionnaire isn't shared with other people in the church. In that questionnaire is asking you questions, and you're asked to be completely honest, and you need to be completely honest. You're asked questions about what are the things you're struggling with. What are the things that you're going to God about right now that you really are struggling with, that you need help with? What are the issues that you've been carrying with you, since you first gave your life to God? What are your hopes? Another one would be, if you had to evaluate where your faith level is, and as in what you could believe faith-wise, where would you see yourself? And there'd be options that you can pick as to what you'd be able to believe in. And being truthful. Or you could write down really what where your faith is, and where you truly believe your faith is. How is your worship life? How is your Bible reading life? How is your prayer life? How is questionnaire asking all these questions. Then at the end of the year, you get the same people to do another questionnaire. And you compare the two. You compare the questionnaires with these people. Or you get them to compare their own. And then when it comes to the annual meeting that you have in your church, you can know whether you've done well. Because you can know, have those issues been dealt with? Has that person's level of faith gone up? Has that person's worship time with God improved? Has their prayer time improved? Do we see improvement in all the areas with each individual as we should be seeing? In most churches, if they've been secretly done, you would find the answer would be virtually no improvement with most of these things, because they don't care about these things right now. But they need to. The reason why they need to is quite simply because right now people don't know how to go to God. So while you're teaching people how to go to God, you've got to be helping people to deal with that stuff. You've got to be helping people to know also what to go to God about. Want to know they can, and they should be going to God about these things. All of them. To know how to improve your worship, how to improve your prayer life, how to improve your Bible study, how to improve all these things. How to be stronger in the areas that you're weak. Because there's a damn sight more that people have issues with that they don't even know right now. So deal with what they know, and then God's going to reveal more that needs to be dealt with in the future. But right now, deal with what they know. There are some things that only God can deal with. But, what you as a church and what you as a ministry can help people to deal with, help them. Teach them that dealing with issues is incredibly helpful to them. Because that's what they need. They need encouragement to keep going to God to deal with those things that need to be dealt with. They need encouragement to grow, to keep moving forwards. And so therefore they need to see the progression. Have a system that helps them to see that progression, because very important to be able to see that. Most churches don't have anything at all to help people to progress and to see the progression. So what I said with God, yeah. God cares a lot about that. He cares a lot about helping you to know where you are now. But because then you can see, because obviously, otherwise sometimes we won't see anything happening and we can get very, very despondent with regards to God. But then God says, well, no, actually what's been going on is, yeah, you've gone from this level of faith to that level. Your level of peace has increased. You now have no fear. You're now, your worship is better now than it ever was before. Yeah, you have a lot more joy now compared to, that's important. Having all of that is important because you can see how you're growing and you can see when you're not. You can see when it's not working. You can go to people to get help for that as well. Because, of course, if you have that system in place to have people to see how they're doing, then you need systems in place to help them to do better. Yeah, you need to have all of that in place in that church. But as I say, you first of all got to care about it. And most don't care. If you care to know how well people are doing, then you're going to care to do things to help people to do better. Right now, most churches don't care about any of it. No. As I say, part of the problem is that for most churches, the way they see it is, the problem with issues is that if the pastor is trying to help us to deal with our issues, that means that sometimes he has to point to our issues, which means that, he has to not be afraid that we will then point to his. Yes? Because all of that fear gets in the way. Yeah. And there can't be fear. The reason why there can't be judgment is because some of the issues that we have are very personal. And if we're going to be honest about those things to people, we can't have a situation where there's judgment. And so it needs to be love, grace and mercy, according to God. There you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.